On Thursday, French pilots are going on strike to oppose the French government's plans to triple taxes on plane tickets. But is that a good thing? My name is George, I'm a former airline pilot. I'm part of the British Airline Pilots Association, or the Pilots Union, and I'm also part of the safe landing community. The French government have proposed to triple aviation taxes on plane tickets in a bid to raise €1 billion for the state. They've also said that it has an environmental aim because of aviation's carbon emissions. SNPL, the French Pilots Union, has said that these increased taxes are an unprecedented attack on the aviation sector in France, its jobs, its competitiveness and its sustainability. But does this make sense? Does increasing taxes on aviation impact its ability to be sustainable? In Safe Landing, we believe aviation should be taxed more. Currently, aviation fuel is completely tax-free, which is very different to the tax that we pay when we fill up our cars at the petrol station. This is essentially a tax subsidy for the relatively wealthy who can afford to fly regularly. The fact is, every industry, including aviation, is going to have to decarbonise rapidly if we are to avoid the worst impacts of the climate crisis. If our industry does not come up with a plan to decarbonise, then we risk being imposed with legislation that does not necessarily put aviation workers as a priority. The International Air Transport Association, or IATA, has said that decarbonising aviation is going to cost a massive $4.7 trillion between now and 2050. That's a massive $175 billion a year. So where is all this money going to come from, if not from the aviation industry itself and those that use aviation the most, frequent flyers? To add to that, Global South countries are calling for financial reparations, and rightly so, and also money for loss and damages due to climate breakdown from high-polluting countries and high-polluting industries.
We don't want the Global South to pay for a crisis we did not cause.
So is it fair that the general public are taxed more to pay for this? Or is it fairer that high-polluting industries like aviation, who already face low taxes, are taxed a bit more? This is exactly why unions need to put workers back in the driving seat and start partaking in deliberative democracy like Workers Assemblies to address the climate crisis head-on. I'm really proud to have been part of the BALPA, the British Airline Pilots Union's environmental study group that has succeeded in getting the union to start scoping a workers' assembly that they're calling a climate forum. I've reached out to SNPL, the French Pilots Union, but if you are part of the union yourself or you know anyone who is part of the union, get in touch so we can start this dialogue and start using workers' assemblies to address the climate crisis, rather than striking against the legislation that could actually be in the best interest of aviation workers.